Oh boy. Yep, we're live, and hold on, guys. Listen to this. Oh,
Wait, we're live now?
Yeah, we are live right now, guys. This episode of the Morning Skate is brought to you by Key Sparkling Water. Let me tell you about this brand right now. They have key lime, blood orange cherry, and pineapple passion fruit. It's different than your normal seltzers. I think normally when you drink a seltzer, you feel like you're 500 pounds afterwards because all the bubbles and whatnot. There's a little bit of bubbles, but not much. There's no added sugar. Real fruit, shenanigan free. Again, the right amount of bubbles. Hydration, built to crush. Tough can for hardworking hands. I'm still working on the whole hardworking hand thing, but these are very, very good. Let me just take a quick little sippy sip. Yeah, that's the spot. Blood orange cherry. So, guys, head over to keysparklingwater.com. Use promo code TMS24. That'll save you 20% off. Yeah, check them out. Brownie, we're working on getting you some product and some apparel soon.
Check for the mail
as possible. Yeah,
Check
pretty
for
much.
The mail.
But yeah, all right, guys. So keysparklingwater.com, TMS24 saves you 20%. Intro music now.
The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles?
Hell yeah, welcome to the Morning Skate. It's February 1st. When did that happen? I don't know, but here we are. You got your host, Ked, joined by my co-host, Brownie. We're going to bring you all NHL news, entertainment, all up-to-date stuff. Player polls are out, which is going to be kind of cool to talk about. There's going to be some kind of upsetting talk in terms of what's kind of going on with Hockey Canada, which is really shitty, but we're also going to try to spread some positivity. So, Brownie, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm trying to put this that we are live while we're talking.
So I wouldn't even worry about it. I think you do that.
Done.
I think you do it every time, and it doesn't. I don't know if it needs to be done. I think they already know we're live.
A link or no?
Point. No, I would honestly, because it's already posted on our Facebook. You don't even have to do it.
I just got to hit send.
Okay.
Did I put a link or no? No.
I don't think you need to, because where you're posting that we're live, it already shows up that we're live.
I don't understand how that works, but whatever.
It's because we're live.
Yeah, you keep saying that like I'm going to understand it. I feel like you're trying to explain like how to program something to me that I don't understand.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, how are you, dude? I knew
good,
you went
buddy.
to Matthews tonight.
Just got home.
Back,
got home. Late game. Well, not a late game. A long ride. I went to see the Northeastern Huskies play cross the border at UNH, and they secured the dub, which we'll talk about as we progress. I'm good. Good week. Cranking out jobs. Got a big job coming, and I even got to go plow a little bit with this half-ass storm that we had. So that was pretty hilarious to me. But hey,
so is that annoying, or is that just like money in the pocket where you're like, hell yeah?
Well,
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, because I wasn't going to plow at all. I didn't even have the plow on. And then one of my big ticket driveway, reached out to me like, hey, you coming? I'm like, I wasn't gonna, but if you want me to, I will. And she was like, yes, please. We're afraid it's going to ice. And I was like, okay. And then as soon as that happened, I sent out a mass text to all my other driveways. And I was like, hey, some people asked me to come by and give them a pass. If anybody wants, please reach out. And I would say a little more than half did. So keep the change. Took me about 2 hours and made a little cash on a weekday that I wasn't expecting. So
there's nothing wrong with that, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I stop making that money. Yeah, we have a little bit to talk about today, so you want to just kind of hop in. We'll start with our little mea culpas.
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Ked and Brownie.
All right, what did I mess up this week?
Well, before we even jump into that, for disco, what was that noise?
You got a text message. Brownie, are you safe over there?
Well, it made the noise on my computer, not my phone. I didn't realize you did that.
I don't know.
Anyways, so I redid my groupings and included Washington this time.
Okay.
New York, Rangers, Islanders, the Devils, and the Flyers. That stays. Boston, Montreal, Ottawa, Buffalo. Staying. This is where it changes. Toronto, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Washington.
That's interesting. Okay.
Carolina, Nashville, Tampa Bay, Florida.
That makes sense.
Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis, Chicago, Minnesota, Columbus. Columbus isn't over there now. Seattle, San Jose, the King, Los Angeles, and Vegas, and then the Orphans won. Anaheim, Arizona, Colorado, and Dallas.
Yeah, I mean,
It's all geographic, but I think that would work. That would be good tournaments.
Because what did you do? Did St. Louis, Chicago, Minnesota, and it was Dallas. Now it's not Dallas. Okay, yeah, that works.
No, it's Columbus.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a little bit of symmetry because Anaheim is like after a movie, right? Arizona's like nomads. They're not going to be there forever. Colorado used to be the Nordiques, and Dallas used to be Minnesota. So you get what you get.
That's fair.
See, I'm getting texts. I don't understand why it's making the noise on the computer. I don't know how to stop it either. Can you hear that ding?
Yeah, we hear the thing.
Sorry, I don't know how to turn it off. All right. That's the morning skate difference. So the Pittsburgh record in January was 4-7. You were unsure of their record. It was not good, but you were right there. The Locomotive KHL plane crash was on September 7th, 2011. All but one person on board were killed. 44 people died in that crash.
How did they survive?
I have no idea. But
where were they sitting?
It was on takeoff.
Oh, no shit. I thought they were flying and went down.
It only got like 20 meters off the ground.
No way.
Yeah, it was crazy. Icelandic yogurt that we were talking about, what makes it different is it's especially high in protein. It just sounds really thick to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah. Not into it.
We're talking about colors for cities. I like how Chicago did the Cubs and the Bears. Like, that would be a cool way to do it.
Okay, so same animal or like same
related.
Logo. Yeah,
like the Detroit Lions could be, and then the Detroit Tigers. You know what I mean? It's all big cats.
Lions, Tigers, and Bears, dude.
Well, it would, but they could then make.
Oh my!
But they could say like, well, the Red Wings are iconic. But if the Red Wings were a new team, they could make the Detroit Cheetahs, or something like that.
Yeah, they should have thought about this. It sucks that we have to talk about this years later. Like, figure it out.
And then Aginla's son, it's pronounced Tej.
Yeah, well, I did my best.
Oh, hey, the only reason I know is because I saw him on an interview with Bar Down. So,
okay, fair enough. Actually, dude, that's really funny because I thought about messaging him on Instagram and be like, "Hey, do you want to pop on the podcast to talk about your year?" But then I felt really uncomfortable asking like a 17-year-old kid, "Hey, do you want to come on my podcast?" So I didn't do it. But I literally had it happened this week. I had a full paragraph ready to send to him, and I was like,
"My co-host
obviously like
obsessed with your dad."
Yeah, obviously like trying to get him on, but then maybe get Jerome on. But then it was like, dude, this is like weird. Like,
yeah, I'm 17. He gets interviewed by all kinds of outlets.
Yeah, so maybe I'll hit him up. Maybe I feel like that'd be a doable thing. Maybe we can get him on.
Yeah.
So not too many. So let's just kind of hop into NHL news. All right, NHL in the news time. World Juniors update. So Alex Formenton, the former Ottawa Senator and current Swiss A League player, has turned himself into London, Ontario. Police, in regards to the 2018 Hockey Canada sex crimes, per his attorney, Alex will vigorously defend his innocence and ask that people not rush to judgment without hearing all the evidence. To the surprise of no one, the London police released the other names of the players that have been directed to surrender to be charged with sexual assault. That was Carter Hart, Michael McLeod, Dylan Dubé, and Cal Foote. So there's a couple other things that I want to kind of break down on this. So today, I think it came out that Michael McLeod was actually getting charged with another charge on top of it.
He was getting charged with an additional? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think I swore.
I wonder, did they release these names because these guys didn't show up when they were supposed to?
I don't know. I don't know.
Perp walk or anything.
I think I could have swore I saw that he was getting like an additional charge on top of all the other ones, as if he was like the ringleader. But maybe this is all alleged, but charged on 2 counts. Yeah, so he was charged on 2 counts. Oh wow, I have them all right here. By being a party to the offense, whatever that means. I don't know what by being a party to the offense. So they're all charged with the same thing, and then he had an additional charge on it. That was the first thing that I wanted to bring up. And then the second thing I want to bring up is, like, how all the teams are like, hey, so-and-so needs a taking time off, like leave of absence. If you
Yeah.
remember Dylan Dubé, his thing was about he needs to step away from the game to worry about his mental health and all that stuff.
I mean, this would
So
affect your mental health, I would think, if you knew you were getting charged with a sex crime.
it would, but a lot of people were pissed off at the Calgary Flames for using the mental health as like a hey, get out of the way thing. But I think that they had just kind of released that they had no idea that this was the reason behind
You
it.
think the Flames didn't know what was going to come down the pike? Then, if I were the Flames, I'd be so mad at that agent of Dylan Dubé that I'd be like, "Buddy, what are you doing? You got to give us a heads
I
up."
mean that's true, but you can't, especially nowadays, dude. If somebody says, "Hey, I need to take time off for mental health," you can't really question it.
No, you can't question it. But now, when this comes out, you can go back to his agent and be like, "What the fuck, guy?"
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Dude, 100%. That was so yeah. So is that, I think those were like the only, and then obviously this is just a really just dog shit situation. I don't think any of these players will ever play another game in the NHL, right?
If they're convicted, it's all they're innocent until proven guilty, right? So that's the whole.
Okay, let's say they're innocent. I still don't think that they ever play.
Well, if they're innocent, they should be able. There should be nothing. There should be no backlash.
I mean, I don't think that that's how it works. Look at what happened to Trevor Bauer. Like none of these guys. Well, and Trevor I don't. Do you know? Do you know Trevor? Right? Do you know who Trevor Bauer is?
Isn't he that dumbass pitcher with the drone cut his hand?
So yes. I don't know if he cut. He might. That sounds like a Trevor Bauer thing. But he was. There's a huge sexual assault thing that kind of came out against him. So he ended up going to Japan to pitch in Japan, and they ended up getting the text messages of the girl who accused him, and it was all bullshit.
Right.
Still not one MLB team wants to touch him, and he'd be like a top 15 pitcher in the game. And that's baseball.
Well, I don't know his personality either. Isn't he kind of an odd duck?
He would be somebody I'd want on the mound in the playoffs.
Okay.
And nobody's giving him a shot. So I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna make a prediction that none of these guys play another game in the NHL.
If they're innocent, I hope they get another chance. If they're guilty, then I hope you're correct.
Yeah. It's and then the other thing. Apparently the Flyers were shopping Carter Hart around this summer because they knew this shit was gonna go down. Did you see that?
So?
Yeah, that was like a report that came out. I don't know how accurate.
Yeah, I wonder why Gauthier didn't want to go there.
But like, yeah, but
what you think?
Dude, what do you
toxic environment?
Yeah, okay, yeah, but Brownie, you're an NHL team and you have a goalie who's a franchise goalie, and you know.
Wait, you're calling Carter Hart a franchise goalie?
Potentially, they were really good this year.
Not because of him.
So you have this
every big moment,
and you find out like, hey, there's probably a pretty good chance shit's gonna hit the fan with this kid. He's never probably gonna be able to play with you or your team ever again. Ethically, trying to get rid of him is probably not the best bet, but in terms of best for business, wouldn't you be like, hey, I'm going to try to get rid of him?
Yeah, but there's got to be some
kind of weird middle ground there, right? Like,
there's got to be some kind of backlash for that. I mean, any other, like, let's say Danny Briere traded Carter Hart, knew about this, the other GM found out about it.
That's on the other GM, I think.
Well, no, because you don't know.
Well, there's a 20. Yeah, but there's a 20. You know that there's a 2018.
Right. I guess you could look it up and be like he could be implicated in there.
Yeah. Like I almost think that's not doing your due diligence.
Yeah, I could see that.
Especially if he's like, "Hey, can you give me a 6th-round pick for Carter Hart?" Okay, something's wrong here.
Why Cutter Gauthier didn't want to play there? Between the way they.
Well, he's also a soy boy, so
they also got run over in front of the legends. Remember they had the Broad Street Bullies there, and they got shit pumped in front of them.
Yeah,
that whole organization. I like Keith Jones, but.
I don't know why you don't like Danny Briere. He had one of the best sellies in the game. The ice sweep that guy.
He's a punk.
Why?
I just remember him as a punk. That's my impression.
Danny Briere, that's your first thing you think punk?
Yeah.
Oh, that would not even be a top 1,000 word for me. Danny Briere was the little dude on the Sabres.
Yeah, he was a punk.
No, dude. He was just a goal scorer. He had 0 punk in his game.
Maybe I'm getting him confused with somebody.
Like you think Danny Briere was a piece of shit on the ice?
I didn't say piece of shit. I said a punk. There's different.
That's the same. No, that's the same thing. If you,
I have a
piece of shit and punk is the same thing.
Not to me, man. It's my word, my description.
So name another punk in the NHL.
Another punk?
Yeah. This is good conversation. This is good podcasting. No, because this is going to drive me nuts. Because I think he had literally zero punk. Like
you could actually say Pat LaFontaine was a little bit of a punk. You want to talk about the Sabres?
Yeah, but I never once.
I wouldn't be the first word I would use to describe Pat LaFontaine, but
he would just when I think of Danny Briere, I think of a little dude who is super skilled and scored a lot of goals.
Maybe I wasn't thinking of Danny Briere. Now that I'm looking
you definitely aren't thinking.
I'm in his hockey DB right now, and
he was super small. He wore like 48. He had a sick ice sweep. Whenever he would score, he would sweep the ice so hard that he would almost flip himself over.
There was someone.
You just don't like. I thought you didn't like Danny Briere because of his kid, which again,
well, I don't like his kid.
Which I think that's fine to say that you don't like his kid, but I don't think that that's entirely his fault.
Well, he raised him.
Yeah, but there's a lot of times, dude. Have you ever seen like the piece of shit like meth head people, and like they come from great families who just love them? Like no, that happens.
That happens. That's a facade.
No,
usually
that happens.
That's usually a facade.
I think that happens.
There's addiction issues, right? And people come from great upbringings, great parents, but a lot of times there's hidden stuff, and you can pretty much figure out the root of the cause most times.
I don't know. Can we agree that he's not a punk? Danny Briere, the kid's a punk.
I will hold my judgment on Danny Briere until next podcast. I will do.
I want to know. I'm dying.
There's someone on the Canadiens who I'm confusing with Danny Briere.
Brendan Gallagher?
No, not now. Back then, in the same era. There's someone I'm mixing up with Danny Briere because I just looked to see if Danny Briere played for the Canadiens and he didn't. There's someone I'm confusing.
Danny Briere was a Sabre and a Flyer, and he might have played on the Canadiens for like a year.
No, there's nothing on Hockey DB for it.
Interesting. Yeah, you're definitely thinking Danny Briere was the little dude on the Flyers back and the Sabres, but he was the dude that he would score huge goals and ice sweep so hard. Like he had one of the after this podcast is done, just go up and look him up.
You know that.
He just looked cool. Yeah, but no, his looked cool because it wasn't like hey, look at me. It was like he was fired the fuck up.
Speaking of
which I love.
Did you see Frank Vatrano toss his stick?
Vatrano,
that was awesome. As much as I hated Jack Hughes for doing it, I love Frankie V doing it.
Isn't it funny how Jack Hughes does it? We're like, this is so fucking stupid. And then Frank Vatrano does it, and you're like, that was the coolest thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was the moment. It was a walk-off goal.
The moment, well, I think Hughes's was too. But
I thought Hughes's was in a shootout.
But Frankie
might have won the shootout.
Frankie didn't lob his stick over like Jack Hughes did. Frankie fucking goes, okay, see ya. That thing probably ended up fucking sticking out of the rafters.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got to this part.
It's anything to get rid of that World Juniors conversation.
How do we go from really disturbing Hockey Canada conversation to Danny Briere not being a punk and Frank Vatrano launching sticks in?
Because Frank Vatrano, not a punk.
The morning skate difference. NHL 3 stars.
Sebastian Aho's a punk. There you go. There's a punk.
Yeah, well, he's the dirtiest player in the fucking game.
All right, let's not go because we have that coming up. So.
Okay. NHL 3 stars. Nikita Kucherov, he had 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points in 5 games played. How are you? The Lightning went 4-1-0. Connor McDavid, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points in 5 games played. Edmonton went 5-0-0. And Matty Tkachuk, 4-5-9 in 5 games played. Florida went 3-1-1. It wasn't that long ago when people were kind of worried about what Matthew Tkachuk was doing this year in terms of putting up points and shit like that. Well, looks like the kid's got to figure it out. Connor McDavid, different level.
Oh, yeah.
Nikita Kucherov. I know you don't like Kucherov. I kind of want to start watching more Lightning games just to watch him. Because, dude, buddy, look at how many points he's put up this year. It's not. This isn't by accident. So,
Lightning, our Lightning writer Artie, I'm going to put pressure on him right now. Artie Clapbaum. He told me that his goal is 1 blog a week minimum. He apologized for dropping off. He had some work stuff going on, but he says
let's get back on the bloggers' asses, dude, because everybody kind of agreed to that. And who blogs other than you and Disco and myself?
Yeah,
riddle me that. Fucking bloggers. Come on, guys. Come on. Get fired up. So that was the NHL 3 stars and PWHL 3 stars.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah, friend of the pod, Alina Mueller. 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points in 2 games played. Boston went 2-0-0. Brianne Jenner, 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points in 3 games played. She had a game-winning goal in overtime. Ottawa went 1-2-0. And then Natalie Spooner, 2 goals, 0 assists, 2 points in 2 games played. Toronto went 1-1-0. So Lena Mueller seems to be setting the tone a little bit, huh?
Leading points right now.
Yep,
And a name to the NHL All-Star 3-on-3 thing. So you see some of these PWHL players will be at the NHL All-Star festivities, and that is the kind of support that the PWHL is going to need.
I wholeheartedly agree. But shout out to Lena. That's good stuff.
Yep.
Edmonton, the Oilers have won their 16th straight game. Last loss was on December 19th, 2023 versus the Islanders. They started the streak 13th in the West. They are now 6th. McDavid has 25 points in those 16 games played, and they are tied for the second longest win streak in NHL history. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it's really cool. It's awesome.
Ken, put the lotion down, dude. It's going to be okay.
But I feel like the All-Star break came at the worst time possible for Edmonton.
Oh, yeah, dude. They're fucking buzzing, dude.
But if there's anybody's a little banged up, this is a good time for them for that, I guess.
I would agree with that.
So,
Lars Eller played in his 1,000th NHL game. This is crazy. Lars Eller's a punk, or at least he used to be.
Fair.
The Dana Center has played 15 seasons in the NHL with stops in St. Louis, Montreal, Washington, Colorado, and Pittsburgh. He has a stat line of 172 goals, 214 assists for 386 points with 583 PIMs, and another 15 goals, 34 assists for 49 points in 103 playoff games. Eller becomes the first Danish-born player to reach 1,000 games played.
Before you go any further, hang on one sec. So I was surprised at this. I was surprised at
not that many points.
I was surprised at how many penalty minutes he had and how little points he had.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been the other way.
Yeah, I think this just kind of proves that he carved out a hell of a career for like a third, fourth line guy.
For sure. 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, there's 100%. Not how many third line guys can you say played 1,000 NHL games?
100%. Yep.
That's pretty fucking cool, I think.
Agree.
Other nations first to 1,000 games played: Canada, Gordie Howe; Sweden, Bore Salming.
He just passed away for Toronto. You remember that?
Yes, at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
Russia, Sergei Fedorov. Ukraine, I didn't know he's from Ukraine. Peter Bondra.
Neither did I, because I had to look up the flag.
Austria, Thomas Vanek. USA, Gordy Roberts. Czechia, Peter Svoboda. Finland, Jari Kurri, and Slovenia, Anze Kopitar.
Yep. I would never have guessed Gordy Roberts.
No, me either. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Should I know who Gordy Roberts is?
You would love Gordy Roberts.
Okay.
You go look up, write yourself a note. When you go take your post podcast bathroom break, put Gordy Roberts on YouTube.
Hey, dude, thanks for letting everybody know I take a shit as soon as the podcast.
I just said bathroom break, like you were holding a pee. You're the one who talked graphics.
Brownie. Vancouver announced a trade that sent Andrei Kuzmenko, defenseman Hunter Bruce. Oh, I'm not even gonna try.
Bruskowitz, I think is how you say it.
Yep, and defenseman Joni Germo to Calgary, along with the 2024 first-round pick and a fourth-round conditional pick for forward Elias Lindholm, who's a UFA at the end of the season. This now gives Vancouver six representatives at the All-Star game and Calgary none.
Wait, I didn't want to hijack this trade talk with Bruins talk, but I'm gonna. So,
who else is shocked? Raise your hand.
Elias Lindholm was linked to the Bruins. Right.
Yeah, he was also linked to the Rangers too.
Oh, was he linked to the Rangers? But for all the people in Bruins land that are crying that he went to Vancouver instead, the comps for the Bruins on this was Trent Frederick. No, I'm sorry. It was Jake DeBrusk, Trent Frederick, Mason Lowry, possibly Matt Potras, and picks. Like, what were we doing? For a guy who wasn't a sign and trade, he didn't do the sign and trade.
Dude, okay, here's my thing. Andrei Kuzmenko, he only 43 games played this year, 8 goals, 13 assists. Not great. Last year,
well, he's on the up, they think.
I mean, last year he almost had 40 fucking goals.
Yeah.
On top of that, you're giving a first round.
Well, he's also was playing with Elias Peterson last year.
Am I the only one who thinks that Elias Lindholm is just that guy is the most blah player ever? Like, do you think he's good? He brings. What does he bring to the game? Like,
I think he's a middle second or third line center. He's not a number one center.
And you're giving up that much to get him.
That's a lot.
Fuck that, dude. fuck
Yeah.
that. I'm
Hey,
glad that
listen,
he
I'm
went
all
there.
for Vancouver cratering their season. So
Oh my
and their
god! And
future.
some people are like, this is great for both teams. Like,
I think it's great for Calgary.
I don't know how this would be great for Vancouver. Like, set
Well,
down the
if
middle,
they
they
go
have.
on a deep run and win the cup, then it's fantastic. But
I gotta look that up. Who they have down the middle? Because JT Miller is definitely down the middle for Vancouver, right?
Pedersen, right?
I see. I thought JT Miller and Pedersen were both centermen. So
Yeah,
he's gonna
I
be
believe
their
so.
third. This guy's gonna be their third line
Well,
center.
they're probably going to put JT Miller down third, I would think. Oh, I don't know what they're going to do.
I just
Look at
don't. I
their
just
lineup.
don't know what this. I'm trying to figure out. Left wing lock used to work. Now it's log in or register. Yeah. Okay.
Dude, just type in.
Whatever. We're not worried about it. I just think this is a dumb trade for Vancouver. Gave up a lot. I mean, at the same time, though, it kind of shows that they're going all in. So I'm a Vancouver
Yeah, I mean
fan. I'm not that
they're
upset about
first
it.
in the
But
West, so
although you're trading a dude who put up 39 goals last year, he might. I mean, Tocchet must not like him.
So Elias Pettersson, we're both wrong, plays left wing. So they have
JT
Lindholm.
Miller.
They have Lindholm as the number one center between Pettersson and Mikheyev. And then Miller is the second line center with Suter and Brock Besser. And then Teddy Bluger's the third with Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland. Connor Garland's third line wing.
Yeah, and he wanted out.
Yeah.
Still wants out.
Come to the Bruins, buddy. Yeah, so yeah, he's their number 1C.
Oh man. Montreal, Brendan Gallagher was suspended 5 games for his elbow to the head of New York Islanders Adam Pelech. This was the first suspension for Gallagher in his 12-year career. That's shocking.
Same.
Montreal hung on to win the game 4-3. Talk about a dude who knows how to play on the line. This one might have been a little bit above.
This was dirty.
But it happened to an Islander.
To elevate to catch him with the elbow.
Yeah, he wasn't fucking around. Like he found his target.
Yeah, yeah. I think he wanted to get Pelech, and he was like, "Oh, got him."
I got him.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
but it's crazy. I think it was RA was like, "These are the hits that they're trying to get out of the game." But Shane Pinto's buddy used his login to gamble, and he got 51 games.
Yeah. No.
Good point.
He scored the other night in overtime. Was it yesterday? Or I don't know if it was an overtime. It might have been like a tying game, but he like kind of went flying in behind the net. And there's a picture of him scoring the goal, and then the Bet 365 ad on the boards is like right there, which I thought was pretty funny.
So stupid.
PWHL attendance record, a new high was set on January 27th with Ottawa at Montreal when they played in front of 8,646 people, which was the highest total for women's hockey in Canada. Pretty cool. What was the number of the Beanpot?
10-6-3-3.
Keep the change, bud.
College.
Yeah, COD. More PWHL announced that Toronto and Montreal will play at Scotiabank Place, home of the Leafs, on February 16th. The rink will be empty past the first round of the NHL playoffs, so if this goes well, maybe all their games will be there. That's a funny side note from Brownie.
I love flipping those in there.
Minnesota traded Maxim Kajkovic to Pittsburgh for Will Butcher. Just put it in there.
I mean, it seems like that's a better deal for Minnesota. So
that could be. New York Rangers had an alumni class against the Islanders, and they made Hank kind of skate out for his rookie lap, which was pretty funny to see. Like awesome. Prost and like Kasparaitis like laughing about it, which I thought was funny. Filipino declared out for the remainder of the season. Remember, they were talking about him coming back. He finally just got here. He's practicing with the red jersey.
He got a concussion in practice, I heard.
Yeah, and then he was on the ice like a morning skate. He was on the ice for like Jake Lecision or something like that. And I read somewhere that he stepped on a stick and fell.
Oh, I heard Benino got him in the morning skate.
And he was just...
I mean, not Benino, Truba. Truba elbowed him in the head.
Oh, that's funny, dude. But yeah, that does not look good. So they shut him down for the rest of the year. Hope he comes back. It's not looking good, dude.
Well, you hope he's healthy, right? And because he's a young guy, you hope he's healthy and he can recover.
24.
This is why concussions is such a motherfucker, because everyone's biology is different. Like Mark
100%.
Savard ended his career. Bergeron
ended his career. But I read somewhere, and I forgot about this. Crosby was out for a long time when he had a concussion. So
do you remember when Crosby got mumps and wouldn't admit it, and his face was all like,
"Oh yeah, dude, Crosby." God, life was such a simpler time. Chris Churi has also come out and said he's taking calls on Kakko ahead of the trade deadline. They also put Benito on waivers. Capo on the trade block, dude.
I mean, that's a pretty damning thing when your GM comes out and says, "I'm taking calls on him."
Yeah,
I mean, so what if? And then if he does it, I feel like that's Drury just wanting to get rid of him because it doesn't give him a good negotiation point, right?
Here's the thing: we now have Filipinos money.
That's what you're thinking. Yeah, because LTIR.
Capo's a good asset. We have first round pick. We have things we can deal. Keandre Miller, I see his name keep floating around. Can I tell you what I want to have happen for the Rangers? And I haven't worked out the math, so I don't know if in terms of cap, but it doesn't seem that outlandish.
Okay.
You make a deal in Minnesota. You send Capo, somebody else. You get Matt Zuccarello and you get Ryan Hartman.
Oh, I saw you post this.
You put Zuccarello on the first line with the special teams guys. So your first line be Zuccarello, Kreider's Benajad, second line Lafreniere, Trocheck, and Panarin. Third line of Will Cooley, Ryan Hartman, and if that doesn't wake Blake Wheeler up, I don't know what will. And then you have a fourth line of Barclay Goodrow, Jimmy Vesey, like Johnny Brodzinski. And I'm not done, dude. I'm not done. I would probably get rid of. I would probably
talking about the Rangers, right?
When we get to Rangers, I'm not going to talk about them. I would probably trade Keandre Miller for Jacob Chikrin straight up if Ottawa would be down to do that. And then the only other thing that I would do, and I don't know how to make it work because I don't know how much money he makes, but if I could add Eric Branson for the playoffs, just to have as like a seventh, sixth defenseman if we need a bigger body to clean shit up in front, I'd go to war with that team.
I will say that Keandre Miller to Ottawa makes sense because that's the pace and the style of play that Ottawa wants is what he brings, that up-tempo, scoop behind the net and go. They don't want to do that back, forth, up the wing. You know what I mean? They want to go, go, go.
I would just be afraid that Chikrin would demand a trade in 20 games. That'd be my only concern. But and then even more Ranger stuff. I mean, this hand up. This is because of me, because I've called George Peros, because I've left him messages, because I've told him how much of a big piece of shit he is. Jacob Trouba suspended 2 games for his elbow to the head of Pavel Dorofeyev and a loss to Vegas 5-2 last Friday. I didn't even see it in the game. I was so rattled the next day. I woke up. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did he get
Can we
suspended?
just pause for a second and kind of sit in the moment that you've called? I forget every once in a while that
couple times
called George Peros. Not only have you left him a voicemail,
couple times
you've got to his voicemail. You're like, "Can I speak to George Peros, please?" And they're like, "Yeah, hang on." You remember the first time you called me and you were like, "What do I say? What do I do?"
Yep. I do remember the last time I called him. I was at Kings and I was fucked up, and I was like, "You're a fucking piece of shit!" Like, dude, I was going in.
So, do you think Peros is he comes in the morning, his voicemail light's blinking, and he goes on the intercom and he's like, "Hey, Betts, come on down. I got another Rangers message."
Yeah.
Comes down and they listen to it and they laugh while they're having their coffee. All right, let's start our day.
I don't know, man. That is really funny that you brought that up. Jacob Trouba, I mean, dude, he has some big ass hits, right? Mm-hmm. But he also, as you can start to see, he has a lot of hits that aren't really shown in real time. Like you find out the next day. Of
they're behind the play.
Do you remember? Well, sometimes behind the play, but you remember the Crosby one in the playoffs? That wasn't really in real time. Trouba took out Crosby. It was until after the game when they're like,
well, because the players' adrenaline's going, they don't realize how hurt they are.
I'm just seeing that this is starting to stack up a little bit on the troops, but yeah. I'm okay with it. Fucking Pavel shouldn't have been standing there. Keep your fucking head up, bud. Right. We're not playing soccer. Patrick Laine has entered the NHL PA assistance program, and Adam Fantilli is expected to be out 8 weeks due to calf lacerations for Columbus.
It's tough hit 1-2.
Tough fucking year for that team.
Yep.
More NHL expansion news. Forsyth County in Georgia is about to be approved for the arena project, a significant step towards a potential pro hockey team per Kevin Weeks. I could not care any less about this.
I wouldn't have mentioned this if Kevin Weeks didn't report it. He made it seem like a very big deal.
I kind of want to bring it up now. When we get into 3 stars, we're going to go over the player polls stuff. And one of the things was best jerseys. And the top 6 jerseys were all original 6 jerseys.
Yeah.
And then immediately following that, Seattle, I think, was number 7, and
Mhm.
Vegas was like number 8 or 9. And I thought
Okay.
that was interesting that the newer teams in the league voted on by the players had the cooler jerseys.
Because it's new and
Compared
different. Yes.
Isn't that interesting though?
Well,
So
they're
I
also
wonder.
they're not chasing they're not. Remember, everyone did
I mean, Seattle jerseys are sick.
No, I know. And Seattle's work with that shade of teal. But you remember San Jose, the teal? Everyone was doing teal then.
Yeah.
So so I understand it.
That sounds interesting. Florida. Now this is what you call a power play specialist. Sam Reinhart has 20 power play goals this season in 49 games played, which is the same amount as Nashville, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo, and more than Washington or Chicago. His 20 power play goals not only sets a franchise record for a season, but he joined an elite list of players that have scored at least 20 power play goals in 50 games or less. The list includes Mario Lemieux, Mike Bossy, and Phil Esposito. Lemieux is the most recent due to this in the 1995-96 season.
That's sick. To have Sam Reinhart, if you're him, to have his name.
Yeah. To be like, hey, check this out. Yeah, I'd have a plaque made that just said
or
that.
Just a photo. Hey, can we get a group together for a can we get a group together for
yeah,
this, please?
Colorado signed veteran Zach Parise to a 1-year deal worth $825K. The fact that this guy's still kicking around is funny.
Good for him, right?
Yeah, I guess. Nate McKinnon tied Bobby Orr for the second longest home point streak in NHL history with a point in 25 straight games played at Ball Arena. McKinnon is the first player since Ovechkin in 2007-2008 with multiple 4-goal games in a season. At the All-Star break, McKinnon has a stat line of 31 goals, 53 assists for 84 points, and 49 games played, plus 17 with 30 PIMs. Unreal. His play is so sublime this season that there not only hats being thrown for his 4-goal games, but he's also showered with thongs and bras. Rockstar.
I mean, and they're gonna get Landeskog back for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, but they still have Georgiev in that.
Oh.
Per Bowen Byram, Kale already told the whole decor if he wins $1 million
thing.
at the All-Star game, he's giving each of us $100K. So yeah, we're really rooting for him. Makar responded to the statement, "Yeah, that's a little delusional. I don't think he knows the way money works."
But I love how they're chirping each other through the Colorado media.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh man, these keys are pretty good. Just pounding them. NHL all-time rookie record holders. For goals, Teemu Selanne, Winnipeg, he had 76 goals. Crazy. Goals for a defenseman, the best defenseman ever played the game. Brian Leetch, New York Rangers, 23. Points, Teemu Selanne had 132 points his rookie year. That's crazy to me.
Can you imagine? There must have been the rest of the league's like, what?
Wild. Assist, Peter Stastny for Quebec. And Joey Juneau was a rookie in Boston?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. 70
and
points.
At one point,
70 assists.
At one point, because Harry Sinden was so great, not taking shit from players. When Jake DeBrusk asked for the trade, he would have been out of here so fucking fast if Harry Sinden was still the GM.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Sinden said something along the lines of, "What does he think? He's a fucking rocket scientist?" And Juno was. That was his degree. And the reporter was like, "Well, yeah."
That's great. Did it? I gotta look this up. Okay, do you have the thing in front of you? Can you keep reading this? Because I want to look up.
Sure.
I want to say Joey Juneau was from Alaska.
Yeah. And he played at
RPI.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, nailed it. All right, dope. Yep. That's all I needed.
Larry Murphy. That's where you're at.
Larry Murphy, points for a defenseman, 76 with the Kings. Wins, Don Edwards with Buffalo, 54. Shutouts. TSP had 17 shutouts.
As a rookie.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. And a 932 save percentage. Pretty crazy.
Yep.
And then the last thing.
You want to hear crazy? Listen to this one, dude.
Wayne Gretzky story of the week. In his record NHL 51 game point streak in 83-84, Gretzky recorded 153 points. In the history of the NHL, there have only been 15 times that a player recorded that many points over the course of an entire season. Out of those 15 times, it was Gretzky 9 of those times.
So he got that 153 points in 51 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's bonkers.
That's pretty fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. That's like you playing a year of major junior and coming back and scrimmaging with the 8th grade team at your local high school. That's those kind of numbers.
51, he had 153. Okay.
Yeah.
And 49, McKinnon has 84.
Yeah.
And that's.
Yeah.
Wild.
And you could make the argument that the league is more watered down now, talent-wise. because there's more teams.
So it would almost be like McKinnon doubling what he's already done this year.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Holy fuck, dude.
It's nuts.
That's the most dominant player to ever play any sport.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
And it's without a doubt. When you put it that way, there's nobody even close.
Who would be that would be a good 3 stars? Who are the most dominant in every sport? But you could make the argument that Mike Tyson for boxing?
If you never got
Muhammad
involved
Ali.
with Don King,
Actually, probably Rocky Marciano.
it's gonna be it'll be Gretzky, Brady, and probably Barry Bonds. Those would be mine.
Yeah. What about, I don't know, about Jordan?
They used to walk Barry Bonds with the bases loaded.
I know, it's crazy.
Like,
That's
what?
crazy.
Yeah, or Jordan. I mean, those are your 4, I think.
Or maybe Bill Russell or Will Chamberlain or something.
Yeah, it could be. Fuck, what was I gonna do here? We are now we're gonna dump and change.
So a bunch of college girls at Minnesota State thought they saw Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins, so they got to class and told the professor. He told them to go find him and they would get extra credit. The students ended up finding Cousins and it was raining by the time, so he said he'd drive them back to class. He then spoke to the class and answered questions and tweeted at the professor to ensure the kids got their extra credit, which they did. Good guy, Kirk Cousins, right?
Yep.
So Super Bowl 58 is set. The 2 teams that I hoped lost the previous round won. This is why I don't gamble that much. San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs at Las Vegas, with KC opening up as a 2.5 point underdog. I don't know why I said favorite. And then the Detroit Lions, offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who is rumored to be up for every vacant head coaching job in the NFL, has stated he is going nowhere and running it back in the Motor City. Per sources, the 37-year-old interviewed with at least 4 other NFL clubs, but wants to return to Detroit to win a Super Bowl. I've also heard that he asked for way too much money, and then Eminem came out and said, "I'm glad I don't have to run a diss track about you." So that was pretty funny, I thought. This is insane. We watched this the other day. There's a new fitness challenge. It's called the Impossible Mile. 4 laps. Lap 1 is burpees.
What do you mean lap 1 is burpees?
You do burpees all the way around. Up, down, jump.
Oh my God, that would take me forever.
Lap 2 is lunges. Lap 3 is a bear crawl, and then you run the 4th lap. That's a tough one.
That would take me like a week. It would take so long.
So this thing, the Neuralink, is a company of Elon Musk's that stated goal was to plant a computer chip in a person's brain so they could control a computer with thoughts, and they have reportedly done it. The statement said that the patient received the chip last Sunday, is recovering well. The Neuralink product is called telepathy, and initial users will be those that lost control of their limbs, and is an announcement. Musk said, imagine if this type of tech was available to Stephen Hawking. They also released a video that I don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly a woman had a stroke, and with this kind of chip thing in her brain, she can control an avatar herself and talk to her husband. That's what their goal is. It's
too much, dude.
And then The Rock got his name back. Dwayne Johnson has joined the board of directors of TKO Group Holdings, the company formed by Endeavor that merged the UFC and WWE. One of the conditions was that Johnson was granted full 100% ownership of the Rock character, which likely means a comeback for the actor/wrestler, which means we should probably get Peacock Plus, because they're already talking about a storyline for him and Roman Reigns, who apparently are cousins, and it's going to pop off at WrestleMania.
All right.
So there's a more than likely chance that I'll get Peacock Plus the week before WrestleMania.
We probably both will, dude.
That's it.
I boycott the Rangers. What do you got for the Bruins?
The Bruins will be quick. So I'm going to do the Pasternak thing. So Pasternak has 33 goals at the All-Star break. He now leads all NHLers with 94 goals since the start of last season.
Well, yeah, because he can do whatever he wants on the ice with no repercussions, dude.
Because he's so good. In second place is McDavid. That stat was from our friend Kevin Paul DuPont to the Boston Globe. And this one is great. So Marchand is on the verge of completing the second leg of the 1,000 club. He needs 4 games played for 1,000 and roughly 90 points for 1,000. He already has achieved the 1,000 penalty minute threshold. And if he gets the points, will become only the second member of the triple 1,000 club for the Bruins with Ray Bourque. That's a pretty cool club.
Yeah.
1,000 games played, 1,000 points, 1,000 PIMs.
That's a gamer.
Yeah. And the Bruins, I think Pastrnak, Swayman, and Jim Montgomery at the All-Star game.
Okay. Northeastern?
So the Huskies, now 3-0 after the Beanpot. They took a pair versus Merrimack, and they just won tonight in overtime at UNH.
Don't let them get hot, dude. Don't let them get hot.
They're ranked 3rd in the nation for scoring defense, and the Huskies' power penalty kill is ranked 1st with a 932% kill. And Katie Knoll leads all Hockey East forwards with 36 blocks, and she's got, I think, 3 goals in 3 games, I think. Megan Carter was named the Hockey East Defender of the Week with a 4 assists over 3 games for the second time this year. And then Paige Taborski, who came in, got her first career start against Merrimack last Friday night, pitched a shutout, not a big deal, and then played the next day against Merrimack and got the win, was named the Hockey East Goaltender of the Week with 2 wins in her first 2 NCAA starts. She was the 12-stage shutout in the first one and got her first win at Historic Matthews, both against Merrimack. And today, Allie Lalonde.
God damn it, dude. You didn't have it on here, and I was going to be like, hey, I'm also a Northeastern fan.
Oh, good. You want to say it? You can.
I'll go for it. You're good, dude.
Allie Lalonde was put on the watch list for the Rookie Player of the Year. And there was one more thing, because I just got it here. Where is it? Taze Thompson played, friend of the podcast, Taze Thompson played in her 100th career NCAA game this evening at UNH.
Milestones, dude.
Yeah, so good on them. They play again. No, not tomorrow. They play Saturday. They host UNH at home. And then next weekend is the big weekend when we're there for the live podcast. And I have a phone call with Delaney tomorrow. So anything you can think of that you want us to try to do, let's ask her.
It's gonna be a
time, man.
I think I'm gonna take the night off the day before.
Friday?
Or like work a half day, so that way I can be home by like 1, so I can actually sleep, get up in the morning and head out. Mm-hmm. My buddy Mark, remember the kid I was telling? Did I ever tell you I have a buddy from Chile who was adopted?
Yeah, he's like a really good lacrosse player.
Yep. So
the kid who works for me is a big lacrosse kid. I asked him, I go, hey, is the Israel team good? He's like, they're filthy.
Yeah. So he, I think I'm going to end up staying with him.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
So.
Oh, you might have told me offline. Yeah.
So I'm pretty fired up about it. It's going to be pretty cool. The only way this doesn't happen is if I get just poured on with snow.
Yeah, same, because I'll be plowing. So
yeah. So fingers crossed it doesn't happen. So that is what we have. Beer League. Do we have anything going on for Beer League?
I did not play. I could not play the last game. I'm hoping to go this Sunday if I can get away with it. Get the legs going, start working. I will say this, because of the heart stuff, I'm on blood thinners temporarily.
That's a thing. Yep.
Dude, the bruises I have from blocking shots. I have never had bruises like this in my life.
Yep, my mom had heart issues when I was in high school, and she's on blood thinners, and it's no joke.
Yeah, I normally don't bruise like this. It's crazy. So there goes Beer League.
All right, so let's get to Heroes and Zeros. Okay. Heroes and Zeros time. Zero of the week goes to the fucking people who arrested Darius Rucker for having weed. Do you see this?
Darius Rucker, my guy? He got arrested?
He got arrested. A couple counts. I think it was weed. I think he had some weed on him.
Oh, where? In South Carolina, right?
Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be a miserable fuck to arrest Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
Honestly, he has like pounds of pot then maybe, but like if he just has like a little bit of here, a little bit there. The only reasoning I can like even think about is one, he was either surrounded by a lot of people when it happens, so the cop had to arrest him, or two, he was being an asshole. If neither of those things were accurate, this
Or
cop was
three.
terrible.
You just those are the only reason you can think it's okay, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
All right, sorry.
That would be the
I was
only reason I'd be like, okay.
Smoking
Like,
weed while black is probably why you got arrested.
oh, he's Darius fucking Rucker, dude. You don't
matter.
arrest Darius Rucker, dude.
That doesn't
You don't
matter.
do it.
So I've told you my Darius Rucker story, right?
Yes, you met him, right?
Nice guy. Great
Yeah.
guy.
So that'd be my 0, and then my hero of the week. Dude, myself, I've been crushing it at the fucking gym, dude. It's been going really, really good. I got this new sweatshirt, dude. Do you see it has a smiley face on the
Smiley face?
Yeah, and on the back it says "Be good to yourself." It's a hoodie from Theo Vaughn's podcast. I listen to this guy all the time. He's the dude I sent you, and you're like, Tony Robbins is a fucking idiot. He's the dude who hosts that podcast.
Tony Robbins hosts it?
No, Theo Vaughn does. He has like long
is
hair.
Theo Vaughn the skier?
No, he's a comedian. He's a funny motherfucker.
Lindsey Vaughn.
If you get a chance, dude, check
All
out
right,
this
I will listen
podcast.
to Theo Vaughn.
He's so funny.
I'm always willing to try stuff you send me, but when you say to me, "Hey, check this out," and it's like one of the biggest scam artists on the planet is the episode you sent me,
buddy, you have to. You might call him a scam artist, dude, but he a special human being to get that many people to buy into something. That's all I'm saying.
It's called a scam.
I don't know. I don't know,
Oh,
man. I don't know if it's a scam. A lot of the stuff that he said makes sense, I thought.
Oh, of course it does.
About like getting in the right mindset every day. Like the first 10 minutes of your day.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to send me a monthly check, anyone listening wants to send me a monthly check, I will happily write you poster boards and vision boards that you can hang up in your house to give you daily motivations.
I don't know. Well, I listen to Theo Vaughn's podcast, and whenever I listen to it, I'm so happy because he's so funny, and he just seems like a fucking awesome dude. The way he like lives his life, and he's just upbeat, and he's like happy, and he's so creative. Like he called ferrets the limousine of rats. Like his brain works a different way. Like he just has a really, really funny brain where he comes up with shit off the cuff. That's why I'm trying to get better at ad reads, because like I listen to his ad reads. And I think the people send him, hey, this is what we want you to say. And I think he literally crinkles it up, throws it away, and then just goes right off the cuff. And just
so some of these companies that I've been communicating with about ad reads, I was like, so you can send us a script.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What's proved best in the past is you give us bullet points, and Ked and I talk about it. And what's really work the best is if you send us the product and then we talk about our experience with it.
That's how it should work, I think.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of sponsorships kind of in the queue.
Hopefully.
Maybe, perhaps, hopefully in the queue.
Working on some stuff.
Another hero. We are going to be doing Rangers Watch Party. So if you're listening to this, next week I'll kind of announce a little bit more about it. But it's gonna be at King's Tavern in Saratoga. We're gonna do 7 games.
So I have 7 shots to make it.
You have 7 shots to make it, and every time you come, if you fill out a raffle card at the end of the thing, you're thrown into a pool. So the more times that you go to the watch party, the better chance you have to win. And I think what it's going to end up being is a free NHL jersey of your choice.
And I will sweeten that deal. I will write you a vision board and send it to you.
You get a vision board and an NHL jersey.
You get a vision board from Brownie.
Yeah, we're doing Rangers bingo, which I think
you like my suggestions that I put on there?
Yes. So that's going to be pretty cool. I got to talk to Ken about getting some stuff together for that, but that kind of made way this week, which has been really fucking awesome. So head on so for that. That's going to be at King's Tavern. I have the dates. I just need.
What's the manager, the owner? Who's your contact at King's Tavern?
Jason.
Jay, when I come, I expect a T-shirt or something.
He's he's all aboard. I think there's gonna be a Rangers related menu. Like it's gonna be really, really fucking cool.
T-shirt for myself.
So the first game.
You get me to pretty much do anything for a T-shirt.
Thursday, February 15th, Rangers Canadian 7 p.m. That's gonna be the first game.
Valentine's Day. Take your girlfriend or boyfriend there.
Yep, and then the next Saturday, 3 p.m. matinee, Rangers at the Flyers. So
that'd be a good one.
We're gonna open up with a couple really good ones. Monday, March 11th, Rangers Devils rivalry night, 7 p.m. Tuesday, March 19th, Rangers Jets, 7 p.m. Thursday, March 28th, Rangers Avalanche 9 p.m. Sunday, April 7th, Rangers Canadiens 7, and then Thursday, April 11th, Rangers Flyers. So
I'm gonna have to find a place to sleep nearby, especially if I bring some of my idiot friends.
It's gonna be pretty fucking cool, dude. I'm really excited about it. So
No, I'm psyched. I'm definitely coming to at least one, and I think I'm gonna bring some people with me.
yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good time. So and I think like Key Sparkling Water is gonna be there. They're gonna have a ton of their stuff. I actually think that they're gonna film a video, like kind of like a, I don't know what one, but they were talking about doing that. So it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be.
I will have to do it. I want to do it. I'll have to look at once you get all the dates, let me know, because I'll look at it and I will go to one where I really dislike the team they're playing so I can fully be on board with the Rangers.
You should bring Carp, see if Carp will come.
Yeah, he's one of the people I'll ask.
That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. So yeah, that's what we got there. Those are my heroes and zeros. What do you got?
So my zero, this happened tonight and it's happened to me before.
Oh boy.
When did cash become unacceptable?
Oh, I never use cash.
This is so idiotic. So I'm at the rink and I want to just get something to drink. I was coughing on something. I was like, you get like dry in the rink sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I just want to get a bottle of water or a fountain drink or something. So I walk up and I'm like, and I see they got Barks root beer on the fountain, and I'm like, score. I'm like, hey man, can I get a root beer, please? And he's like, what size? I'm like, I'll have a large. He's like 4 1/4. I go to hand the kid a 5. He looked at me literally like I handed him a dead kitten. That was the look on his face. I'm like, what's up? And he goes, we don't take cash. And I was like, what? He goes, we don't take cash. I go, you don't take cash. And he goes, no.
You don't take money.
And so then there's 3 of them behind the counter. There's no one there. It's women's hockey on a Thursday night in Durham, New Hampshire. There's maybe 200 people in the whole place. And I'm like, I look at the other 2. They're like, we don't take cash. And the guy goes, you don't have a card. I go, no, I just have cash in my pocket. My wallet's in the truck. And he goes, why don't you have your card with you? And I'm like, why don't you take cash? I wasn't like aggressive, but I was just like, what the fuck, guy? So then I'm like, all right. And they're like, sorry. So then the kid dumps it out. I'm like, well, just give me that little bit you already poured. Right. So I get like 4 or 5.
That kid's a fucking loser, dude. Give you the soda. Like, just give it to you. It's a fucking soda.
So, which cost them pennies. So I start walking away. Well, no, his boss was the older guy. So I start walking away. I turn back. I go, hey, how about this? I'll give one of you 3 $5 in cash if you put it on your personal card.
Yeah.
Help a brother out.
Yeah.
The fucking guy who told me, why don't you have your card on you? He goes, he literally looks at me and he goes, my wallet's in my truck. And I go like this. I go, you fucking with me? And he goes, what? Excuse me? I go, are you fucking with me? And he's like, no, my wallet's in the truck. I go, then what the fuck you giving me shit for my wallet being in the truck? Yeah.
You are a fucking wild card, dude. Like, and I don't know how Delaney and Northeastern deals with you. Like,
because I'm very nice at Northeastern, and they take cash at Northeastern.
You're just like fighting people at the UNH.
No, I wasn't fighting. I was just so dumb. But this happened to me at the TD Garden last season. I went to the Bruins game with my buddy, and I'm like, look, he got me the tickets. He's driving. Everything's on me. So I went and took out like $250. We walk up for the first round of beers, and they're like,
you're so old, dude. You're taking cash out, bro. Like, come on. But keep the card.
Dude, dealing cash. Cash is king. So anyways, just, let me pay for stuff. Good Lord. So that's my zero.
That there is a generational thing. Like, nobody my age or younger, I think, ever says, hey, I got to take cash out. Like, I think that's stopped.
I like having cash. I grew up in the restaurant business. I bartended for years and years and always had cash. I used to go pay my rent in cash, my portion. They'd be like, what's your address? I'd tell them, this is when I lived down the Keys. And I'd be like, here's my portion. And I'd be counting out.
I would love to know if Carp has ever said I had to take out cash.
Probably. It's not a weird thing, man.
I think
that's why there's ATMs everywhere.
What do you use for an ATM? Your fucking card.
My debit card.
Your card.
But I don't want to carry my wallet in with me. I was just going. I had cash in my pocket.
It's dangerous to leave your wallet in the car, by the way.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Just saying.
Well, people like you stealing catalytic converters, you probably grab my wallet next. Put it in your little shopping cart of yours that you stole.
I didn't steal that either.
So, all right. So my hero is my friend Natalie. My friend Natalie had her birthday on Tuesday, and Natalie, mom of 3, very nice lady, she has decided to get back into the world of cannabis.
Oh,
And I was very happily able to shepherd her re-entry. I went to the craft store and I bought a little wooden box and I stained it and polyurethaned it and lined it with felt and filled it with all kinds of stuff for her. And I just wanted to, she's an awesome person and she works for me part-time sometimes and she's just a great person. And I'm very happy that she's back on the weed.
Back on the weed, dude. Love
So
that.
happy birthday, shout out, hero, whatever you want to call it.
Happy birthday, Natalie, right?
Natalie, yep. Yeah, actually, she's Al's wife with the cider thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
It always comes back to the cider thing. All right, 3 stars. We're gonna kind of go over our NHL player polls. Okay, 3 stars. We're gonna go through each one of these categories of the NHL player polls. Say whoever were voted. And again, the player polls. So like they sent out polls of different NHL players. People voted on whatever it would be. So that it's just more in depth around the league rather than these analytic nerds telling you what you should think or what you shouldn't think. So, first one, best player in the league. Connor McDavid was first with 69%. Nathan McKinnon second with 16%. Nikita Kucherov was third with 7.18%. And then Sidney Crosby and Cale Makar were tied for fourth most with 1.66. So we're just going to rattle these off quickly. I'll do mine first. I have Crosby at 3, McKinnon at 2, McDavid at 1.
I went by players that I would want to start a team with. That's how I put it. Like, if I could have one guy to start my team, who would I want?
Start your team for 1 year or for a lifetime?
I'm building a franchise. Who do I want? First guy.
Right. Well, like, you're not going to pick Crosby because he's 36. Like,
right.
Does age matter? Okay,
yeah.
Age matters. Okay.
Yeah. So my first guy that I would pick was McDavid.
Yep.
My second guy that I would pick was Matthew Tkachuk, set the tone. And my third guy was Cale Makar.
Okay.
And then my honorable mentions were Marchand. You don't want to do honorable mentions?
No. Well, no, we can do honorable mentions. I just don't know how McKinnon's not on your list.
My honorable mentions were Marchand and McKinnon.
So I went McDavid 1, McKinnon 2, Crosby 3. I will say this. If I had to win a game 7, I'm probably picking in reverse order. I'm probably going to pick Crosby first, McKinnon 2, and McDavid 3rd.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Favorite road city to play in? Vegas 25%, New York 22%, Montreal 10%, Nashville 6%, and Vancouver 6%. If I've never played in any of these cities, but this is just kind of what I'm assuming what I'd be pumped up about. My third star would be Tampa. I think it'd be kind of cool to play hockey and then hit the beach afterwards.
Okay.
Like that'd be kind of dope. My number 2 star would be Montreal. For some reason, the Bell Center's on my bucket list. I think it'd be so fucking cool to play there.
Oh, for sure.
Then number 1, the Garden, the real Garden.
Awesome.
New York.
Okay.
Those would be my 3.
Mine were, I said my honorable mention was Vegas because Vegas is fun. I just were like thinking, where would I like to go for a weekend, basically?
Yeah, I put Vegas on my honorable mention because from what I've been told, it's almost like more of a show than it is a hockey game.
Have you never? Oh, I was gonna say, have you ever been to Vegas?
I've been to Vegas once.
All right. It's fun. So my third star was Nashville. My second star was the Panthers, Florida, because I'm like, I could shoot down the Keys, and I love the Keys. And then my number 1. Nothing to do with the team. I just love Toronto.
I thought about putting Toronto there too, just because when I think of the Toronto, I think of that's like the New York Yankees of hockey.
Yeah, fair. Yep.
Like that.
We go up there for a hockey tournament. And I just love going up there. It's such a great place.
Least favorite place to play. Winnipeg was 41%, Ottawa 11%, Buffalo 10%, Raleigh 7%, and then Tampa/Phoenix was 6.78%.
I only have one on that list.
Hey, should I take Tampa back and put Florida instead of Tampa?
Depends
like Panthers, because now I'm seeing Tampa's least favorite. That's making me think
because it's the West Coast.
Oh no, Florida definitely, because they drive like golf carts to the rink.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Florida instead of Tampa.
That's East Coast versus West Coast.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Third star, New York Islanders. Like that wouldn't really get me going. Second star, New Jersey, because it smells bad. And then my first star, Seattle. I'd rather not do that.
My honorable mentions is the Kings because I'm not your LA type of guy.
See, I think LA would be kind of cool just to experience, just to see what it's like, because that's a different world.
My third star would be Columbus.
Which is kind of crazy. Yeah, but dude, if you read about all these guys, like Columbus, I forget, somebody wrote a blog for us about Columbus and it like blew up.
I remember.
But you see people love it there.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So maybe it would like surprise you.
Maybe. My second star is San Jose. No thanks.
Why?
Yeah, it just doesn't appeal to me.
Interesting. Okay.
And then my number one star, I agree. Carolina is where the Raleigh, North Carolina is a pile of shit.
Never been there.
I have. It's awful.
Why is it awful? Does it smell bad?
It's just redneck and fucking.
Oh, so I probably like it.
No, they don't. They're like cheering. Oh, they're probably better now. They used to cheer icings. It's just fucking horrible. And it's
the game itself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful environment. It's a dump. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. No.
So I've never been to Raleigh.
You're not missing anything. The best part of it's the airport when you leave.
Best goalie, Vasilevsky, 44%, Hellebuck, 15%, Demko, 7.65%, Sorokin, 7.65%, Shesterkin, 6.56%, and Jeremy Swayman, 4.37%. Linus Olmark's not even on the thing.
Linus, good.
Not even on the list. Your backup goalie is voted a better goalie than he is.
All-star this year.
Crazy. My number 3 is Jake. These are the goalies that I would take. My number 3 is Jake Ottinger. My number 2 right now, Jake. My number 2 goalie is that Ingram kid from Arizona who's been on this year, and then my number 1's Hellebuck.
My number 3 is Ottinger. My number 2.
Oh no shit, really?
Yeah, my number.
He's
2
good, dude.
Yeah, he is good. My number 2 is Demko.
When he's on,
Thatcher Demko is my number 2 right now because he's playing unbelievable. And my number 1, Hellebuck, and Swayman. I put Swayman in there too.
Okay.
As an honorable, or Ottinger as the honorable, one of the way.
Underrated player.
This is where I think this might get a little crazy here.
Underrated player. Other was 22%, so that's just like random people. Barkov, 12%. Reinhardt, 5.95. Point, 4.76. And Rantanen, 4.17. My third star, I'm going to go with Travis Konechny on the Philadelphia Flyers. My second star, Sam Reinhart. And my first star is Braden Point. I think Braden Point's been the most underrated player pretty much ever since he's been in the league.
Yeah,
I think people think it was fucking Barkov. Oh, it's a cool thing to say Barkov. Like he doesn't move the needle for me, dude. Like, is he that sick? Is he that good? Like, I don't think he's good, but like, if Barkov went to the Rangers, obviously I'd be really happy about it, but I wouldn't be like fully torqued. Like, I was more excited that Panarin went to the Rangers.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know how to rank these guys except for my number 1.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna give you all these guys.
Okay.
Kyle Connor. I think Kyle Connor is. I know he's a star, but I think he's underrated.
Scores a lot of goals.
Pavel Zacha, watching
Kyle Connor is very underrated. That's a good answer.
Yeah. Pavel Zacha, watching him play night in, night out, up and down the lineup, doing whatever it takes. The Bruins fleeced them on that deal.
Okay.
Sam Bennett is another one. I think Sam Bennett is very underrated. We
definitely are a pro Sam Bennett podcast.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
This one you're going to be like, get the fuck out of here. But he doesn't get the shine that his partner does. I think Devin Taves is underrated.
Oh, he's just like the Barkov thing. This is like anybody who says Barkov or Taves, I'm going to guess has never watched more than 5 games of them, but just sees everybody else say that. And they're like, oh,
no, I just don't think
I know hockey.
He doesn't get the shine like the rest of his teammates do. And he enables Makar to play like he wants. Right. And so this is my number 1, this guy. As good as he is and the amount of praise he gets,
it's not enough.
It's not enough for Connor Hellebuck.
Oh yeah, that's a really, really.
It's not enough. This guy is head and shoulders the best fucking goalie in the league.
So this is where he inevitably is going to come to a just crushing halt. Like I feel like we do this every year where we just fucking pump Hellebuck, and we're like, Hellebuck's fucking sick. He's elite, and then almost like immediately something bad happens. So, overrated player. So other. 26%, and then Zegras 12.87, Darnell Nurse 7.92.
Oh, that's a good one, Zegras. I didn't think of him.
Yep. Zegras 12.87, Darnell Nurse 7.92, Matthew Tkachuk 6.93, Jason Robertson 6.93, and Jonathan Huberdeau 5.94.
That Robertson sounds personal. I don't have a single guy. I didn't name a single guy on that list.
They're all great. Other than Matthew Tkachuk, I would agree with all of these. Like, I didn't think Robertson was that good. I think he just had like a really good year. How's he doing this year?
Robertson? I don't know.
Oh, Rope Hintz is also an incredibly underrated player. He would have been a good pickup there too.
That's fair.
So my third star, Dougie Hamilton. I would love to stop hearing about Dougie Hamilton. I don't think he's that good.
He's quit on how many teams?
Yeah. My second star is Trevor Zegras. And then my first star is Timo Meier. Everybody talks about how good Timo Meier is going to be. I think he has like 2 goals since he's been on the Devils. So
I'm going to give you my 2 honorable mentions. Erik Karlsson. Shouldn't have won a fucking Norris. And Tim Stützle. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, all he does is dive. Did you see the other night against the Red Wings?
Did you see Lalonde, the coach, going like this? Yeah.
Yeah, he is just a Euro piece of trash. What was that?
Those are my honorable mentions.
The year that Erik Karlsson won the Norris, who was the
Actually, I take it back. Under the parameters that the Norris is right now, fine. He could have won it that year. My issue is with the Norris Trophy. Okay.
Yeah, it's less with him. But I want to know who was the runner-up. Was it a Boston Bruins defenseman? Is that why you hold so much hate towards him? Do you remember who it was?
I don't remember who it was. Do you? Is that why? Is this a setup? Oh.
I just didn't know if it was like, because it was a while ago. At first, I was thinking McAvoy, but I was like, well, he's never been that good to even be in that consideration. You know who was like? I thought Ryan McDonough, like career-wise, was one of the most underrated players ever. Like I thought he was so fucking. He was like your most perfect 1B.
Outside of the last, you know what? You're gonna hate this, but outside of the last like 7 years, Bergeron was highly underrated. He didn't get a shine for like the last 5 years
of his career.
Yeah. He was respected, but he didn't get the acclaim that he got at the end. And you can make the argument that Krejci was one of the most underrated guys for his playoff.
Holy fuck! I'm so glad I don't have to hear about David Krejci anymore. Like,
all right, let me give you my top 3 overrated.
Okay.
Number 3, Mitch Marner.
Yep.
I think he's overrated.
Tell me Megan Zibanejad's on your list.
No, he's not. Number 2, David Perron.
Why?
What the fuck does he do? Except skate around and come in late and chop.
You just hate David Perron. If David Perron was on the Bruins, you'd love him.
And number 1 overrated guy in the league, in my opinion, Domi. What the fuck does this guy bring to any team?
I thought Austin Matthews was going to be the no-brainer.
No, he can score.
You're getting soft. with your fucking New Year's resolutions, you're getting fucking soft.
Austin Matthews can score goals. He can't do anything else, but he can score goals.
Yeah, Domi's a good answer. Players you want to punch in the face. Nick Cousins, 28%, other 16.3, Marchand 14.97, Matthew Tkachuk 7.48, Bunting 4.08, and Garland 4.08.
Connor Garland, really?
Yeah. You're gonna have to remind me if I'm missing people who I ate. But number 1, Sebastian Aho, fucking rat. Number 2, Tom Wilson, fucking rat. And number 3, Ross Colton, fucking rat. Those were
Ross Colton.
Those were my 3. Am I missing anybody that I fucking freaking? Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really fucking good one. I gotta start.
Who's the guy that went to Dallas who asked out of New York?
Oh, I mean, he's played like 3 games this year. He's irrelevant. I don't have enough time in my day to justify wasting any of it for him. I got to start writing more of these things down. Like, I wish I had like ongoing lists in my phone where I could just be like, who do I hate most in the NHL?
That's the rantings of a madman. If you keep lists of people that you don't know that you want to punch in the face, good Lord, that's like Steve Buscemi in Billy Madison. You're gonna be scratching people off while you're putting your lipstick on in your room with your meth head neighbor.
I just feel like I'm missing somebody.
We'll see if mine trigger. I also had Aho.
Yeah.
I put Perron on this list also as overrated, and I'd like to punch him in the face.
Like, I feel like I have like 3 or 4 David Perrons, but I just can't remember who they are.
Alex Killorn's another one. Fuck
Killorn's a good one, dude.
Pat Maroon's another one.
Fatty Patty's another
Pat
good
Maroon
one.
he seems like a very nice guy. I just hate the way he fucking plays.
Like, there's got to be somebody on Carolina that I can't stand.
Philip Forsberg's another one.
Oh, I love Philip Forsberg.
Could punch him in the face. I haven't forgotten what he did to Bergeron.
Oh, that'd be another. That's a really good underrated player. That's a fucking really good underrated
Forsberg.
player.
Yeah,
He played in a big market, dude.
Yeah,
with the way he looks too. Guys are rocking.
Can you call Yanni Gourde underrated now?
That's another good one. I don't know. I feel like
you could pick any of the young guys on Arizona and call them underrated. No one wanted these fucking guys.
That is true. God, I kind of want to make like a most underrated hockey team in the NHL. Give me 4 lines, 6 defensemen, 2 goalies, the most underrated team in the show.
Well, they got Connor Hellebuck, so.
And you have to fit it under the salary cap.
Oh,
that'd be kind of cool.
You're never gonna do this homework.
No, that my brain can't do that much. And then we have one more. Best jersey. Chicago 21%, Detroit 15%, New York 15%, Toronto 8.9, Montreal 8.2, Boston 5.4. So Boston,
all the
actually,
except for the Rangers.
Boston's the least favorite original 6 jersey. I don't know.
I assume they meant the Islanders, right? When they said,
yeah, that's funny. But why is that? I wouldn't put Boston last in the original.
Well, I understand the Boston. I mean, Boston doesn't do. I mean, it's the first American hockey team, so they don't mess around and do all the silly stuff. They did it once with the Pooh Bear. They really don't do it. It's just the B in different iterations.
Like Seattle.
The Rangers have Rangers, the iconic, but then they also have the crest, and then they have the Statue of Liberty. So they have different. You know what I mean?
Safi, Rangers best jersey.
Oh, shut up, Safi.
Fucking right, buddy. Yeah, Boston 5.4, Seattle 3.4, and Arizona 3.4. I went Montreal 3, Chicago 2, Rangers 1, and then out of my not original 6, if I had to pick a jersey.
Oh, all right, I see what you're saying.
I think the Colorado Avalanche jerseys are sick.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's because growing up watching hockey, it was Colorado and Detroit when they had that rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen like all the pretty boys liked Detroit. So like Colorado was always kind of like the villain. So I always thought whenever like they were wearing their jerseys, like they were always kind of like, yo, those are the bad guys. Like those are like it's kind of like a cool vibe to it. And I like they changed the color a little bit. I think it pops pretty good. If I went to the rink every day and those were the colors I had to wear, I'd be pretty pumped about it. So I'd put Colorado as my not original 6.
So I did well, obviously I love the Bruins, the black Bruins. I love the red Chicago. I actually like the Statue of Liberty Rangers ones. I like those. But Calgary, I think the Calgary fucking unis are sick. Yeah. That logo is unbelievable. I also like the new Winnipeg logos with the jet. I like that one a lot. And then my favorite is always the Kings, the purple and gold crown.
Yeah, you've always liked those.
Yeah, I love that. So
those the Minnesota Wild third jerseys, like with the green and yellow, those things are fucking sick. If somehow I finagle my way to win an NHL jersey at this Kings watch party and I just enter my name and I get it, I'm getting a Zuccarello Rangers or Minnesota Wild.
How do you feel about the Carolina Hurricanes wearing the old Hartford Whalers?
I think it's dumb. I think it's so you're not the Whalers. Right. Like, stop trying to be relevant. Yeah. And whenever I think of the Hartford Whalers, I think about like that one kid who wore like a flat brim snapback hat and was like, dude, I'm an absolute beauty. I play fucking hockey, dude. Let me pack this fucking.
You talked about someone specific?
No, just like I just think of like those fucking young geeked out fucking hockey players that say that they play hockey, but they play like junior F and like don't know how to properly take a wrist shot. Wearing their like fucking flat brim snapback Hartford Whalers hats, pretending like they even knew. Name me one player on the Whalers. That's what I wanted to ask them. That's what I would have loved.
Oh, I thought you were asking me. Sorry.
No.
Actually, it's funny you said that. I met someone recently who's like, "Oh, I play," and he said a college, and I go, "Oh, do you know blank?" Because I don't want to, but if case this kid listens,
yeah.
And he's like, "It was club." Like back to like, so fast. It's so funny. I was like, sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to blow up your spot there.
Yeah, that's why that was an easy 3 stars to do. Like that wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was different. Yeah. Sometimes our 3 stars takes a lot of thought. That one was pretty easy.
It's quick.
Yeah.
And there's multiple, and there are honorable mentions. So I'm sure you were all sorts of juiced up.
Maybe that's the trick. You know, if I don't think about it too long, I can rattle them off.
So you're saying to decrease time on 3 stars to have more 3 stars.
Just so crazy it might work.
Dude, there was one point where you're like, all right, Ked, we're gonna do 3 stars this week. I'm like, okay. And like you name the first. I'm like, all right, cool. And you're like, okay, and we got 5 more. Dude.
Hey, so this was my question for you with the live podcast coming. My daughter still wants to dye my beard. Should I do it before the live podcast?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I kind of forget what you look like with a dyed beard.
It's gonna be, imagine all this white, blue, or purple.
Oh, don't do that.
I told you.
Don't do that, Brownie. Well, don't show. But we're doing a live podcast at Matthews. We're doing all these things. We have to be professional, and you're telling me you're showing up with a blue and pinked out fucking beard. Come on,
no,
man.
I'm not. I'm not saying it right now. As it stands, it's going to happen over February vacation. It's the week after. But I was like, should I do it for the live pod?
No.
Right, well, if I come down to Kings with a blue beard, you're gonna have to give me a Rangers jersey to match to wear.
Dude, I don't know who that man is.
Ked,
I'm your biggest fan.
Lift up my shirt. There's 4 of us. It says KED with an exclamation point. Ked.
You had one's dressed up like a British Revolutionary soldier. Like, what the fuck's going on?
I'm trying to get him to come. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's what we had for this.
Actually, can I tell you a quick story about him?
Yeah, go.
This fucking idiot. There was a water main broke. A water main broke outside his house, and the town we live in, such fucking morons. They just put up like a little sawhorse and it said road closed, but they didn't close off the road. So everybody was just going around the sawhorse into the other lane, right? And going along their way. So I have a picture that his wife sent the group chat, and she's like, oh, what's this? This is just my husband outside calling the police and yelling at cars. He's one step away from saying, get off my lawn. And the cops came, and because people were buzzing, and it was dangerous. He was right to do so, but he got such a thrill out of this. I mean, the text from him. I'm trying to find it. Here's the picture of him outside his house, on the phone, like looking at the cars. You see him?
Yeah.
and then he sent this video. Here, wait. Yeah, here's the microphone right by me. This is him.
Bad boys.
Oh my God, dude. I feel like this guy's just permanently roasted, dude.
Oh, dude, he sent that video. He's like, I am getting such a thrill over watching these cops write tickets for all these people that are bombing on my road. And then he made that ridiculous song. And now it's like any excuse for him to do any type of theater. Oh, too funny. He might be our camera guy. If we need another set of hands at Matthews, he said he's in.
All right.
I'll find out tomorrow from
Dwayne. Anyway, dude.
I'm gonna ask him to go. Yeah.
I'm gonna dress to the nines for that thing, dude.
My wife's so mad. I am curling my doing the mustache curl thing.
I think I'm gonna go peacoat, dude. I'm gonna try to because the way they walk into the rink,
let's make sure she lets us do that.
Well, I'm doing it anyway. I want to look good, and then I want to. Am I doing the mascot? We have things.
Yeah, I got a whole thing. I'm gonna ask her if you got to think about anything tonight too that you want to do. But I'm gonna ask her if we can sit on the bench for warm-ups.
So that's next Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should plan on doing a podcast next week, and we'll talk strictly All-Star Game. We'll have an All-Star Game podcast. Probably won't be that long, 30, 35, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, there'll be some games. I'm sure something will happen at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, but maybe we keep that for the live podcast, so we have stuff to talk about.
What do you mean? We're gonna talk about the vibe at Matthews, and then we're gonna talk about the pregame. Then we're gonna come out after the first period. We're gonna talk about what went on after the second period.
Wait, what?
In my mind,
It's a lie. What do you mean?
So this is what I'm thinking we do. And we're discussing this live in front of 3 people.
Yeah, let's take this offline. We'll take
You
this
sure?
offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, Brownie, what do you have for the people at home?
Nothing. Just as always, God bless you, Jerome McGinley, wherever you are. Black History Month. I hope you have a great Black History Month, buddy.
I'm going to message your 17-year-old to see if he wants to pop on the pod, talk about the WHL.
That'd be sick because we're going to backdoor it into getting Jerome on the pod.
Yeah, maybe. That would be really cool. But thank you guys for tuning in. We will talk to you guys shortly. Thank you.
Bye.